Hey Scribe, Sarah here. Welcome back to the Right Podcast. Today I have a real treat for all you paranormal and fantasy romance lovers. I'm joined by the fabulous H.M. Hodgson, author of the brand new Witch Wars series, a magical, fast-paced urban fantasy romance that's already making waves. In this episode, we chat about the rise of special editions, the fun and occasional chaos of book signings, and what it's like trying to keep up with the ever changing world of marketing and sales as an indie author. If you've ever felt like you're juggling 100 things at once, this one's for you. Whether you're writing in the fantasy space or just dreaming about bringing your book to life, this conversation is packed with inspiration and real talk. Let's dive in. Today, I have the lovely H.M. Hodgson joining me today. Thank you so much for being here.
Sarah, thank you so much for having me. I'm actually I'm a little bit honoured and that you even asked me to come on. And thrilled at any stage to talk about books and of course my books, obviously, but books, the bookish life in general. I think I could talk about this any day of the week.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've been on my radar for many, many years now. We've met at book signings in the past and that sort of thing, which is always great. I've read a lot of your books, and my partner Tim is a big fan of
Oh,
yours.
really?
He really is. He's a big fan.
That's
So
amazing.
I want to talk. Congratulations on your latest series, Witch Wars.
Thank
So Wrath is book number one and Weapon is book number two, and it's just recently come out. So these are paranormal romances.
They are urban fantasy paranormal romance in that world. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So is it an ongoing series, the same couple and all of them?
is. It is. So same couple, and spoiler alert, they will continue the story in book three.
Ah. So only a three-book series or three to start? See how it goes?
In my mind, and I say this without having finished book three. Well, actually, really, book three has a long way to go yet. But in my mind, it was always a trilogy about Vela and Matthias's story because it tied in really well with the three AETs of the set of runes that they're looking for. But I already know that there's more in the world. Like as I'm meeting the characters in the world, they just keep telling me their stories. So it's like I know there's more, but the main trilogy will be wrapped up. Fingers crossed. I say that because I haven't finished the book. With book three. Yeah.
I love it though. You've always got these characters who want their own spin-off series. So
You do, right? It's like, look at me, I'm over here. I've got a story to tell. Yeah.
no, that's awesome. Okay, so tell us the premise where we start when we read book one.
Okay. So the premise is I first of all, I when I pitched this book, and I did try to get a trad publishing deal for this book series. So my pitch has always been, have you seen the movie National Treasure? Any of
Yes.
those movies? Okay.
Yes.
So my pitch is like it's like the movie National Treasure, but with witches. So that's my guide. But the story itself is really more centered around what would you do if you discovered you were the bad guy? And
Mhm.
that was actually the question that kicked the whole world off, started with that question. And that's where we meet Vala in book one, who thinks that she's doing the right thing, only to discover that everything is not what she thinks.
Oh, okay. So she's a witch.
She is a witch.
Yeah.
I should have said that. So the world that I've built is witchcraft is an everyday part of the world, but witches have throughout history, the way they've practiced their craft has led to them practicing more and honing in more on sorry, not practicing, but joining in covens based on how they do their magic. So witches who could divine to see the future all gathered together. Witches who did spell works gathered, and they formed over time. Um, they've formed five great covens, and so the Witch Wars is the story of what happens when people want power and one coven fighting against another, or more than one fighting against another, for control, and which is, I think that's a really big theme, control, throughout the whole story. So yeah.
I'm just going to put it out to the universe. Sounds like a great movie or TV series.
Oh, please, universe. I would love that.
All about manifesting here.
Yeah,
Come on, more of
love
this.
manifesting. I don't know about you, but when I'm in a good place, I like to manifest every day. That is my thing.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. All right. So, what inspired you to get into writing, paranormal and urban fantasy sort of novels?
Well, I was reading them. I think that's what it was. I always was a writer, like my whole life that I can remember. Not my whole life, obviously little kid life, but certainly from at least age 10-ish, I know that I've still got some of the things that I was writing back then. And then when I was so I have to go back a little bit.
Yeah.
When I was 19, I decided that I was going to be an author, and that was it. I was going to make my life writing books. And I was reading a lot of romantic suspense at the time. And so I wrote a romantic suspense, what I thought was a romantic suspense. Um, and it went nowhere. It was such a bad job. I did get a contract on it from an agency who wanted to put it out to be picked up, but they wanted me to pay for a professional edit before they would do that. And at the time, I was working as a waitress. There was just the money they quoted me was just never even on the cards. And so I just dropped it and walked away from it all. I know now that was a vanity press, and it was a good thing, right? I got lucky that I didn't pay the money and go down that route.
Definitely.
But I walked away from it, and then I just went back to reading for a very long time. And then one day when my daughter was 2, tell me if I'm talking too much, because I'll just keep talking of this. But so yeah, my daughter was 2. This is going back a few years now, and I was sitting up one night with her beside her cot because she wasn't sleeping, and I had all the lights off, and I was sitting on the floor just beside her because she would settle if I was in the room. And so I had my phone down low and I was scrolling through news articles so she couldn't get the light from the screen. And I came across this article about an island in Europe that had been deforested a couple of 100 years ago, and they'd never replanted anything on the island. And I was like, why wouldn't they reforest it, And instantly that question of why made me think, well, of course there was a tree that they were trying to kill, and when what tree would that be and why, and who would if someone was trying to kill the tree, were there other people who were out to try to protect the tree? And I think because I was reading paranormal romance, like I was devouring J.R. Ward at the time, and so many other authors who I just adore, that it just immediately spun up into this paranormal romance story. And I don't know, I think something clicked in me. I was just sick of not writing anymore, and you just wanted to do it with everything I was. I wanted to do it, and I did it. I wrote the book, and that was like 17 books ago now, or 17 stories ago now. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So you went straight into self-publishing. Did you try and do anything traditionally?
I definitely tried. Yeah, that first book, I I didn't know what to do after I'd written the story. Like so many of us, right? You write the book, and you're like, well, what do I do? Um, so I got in touch with the Queensland Writers Centre, who gave me a mentor, the amazing Anna Campbell,
Awesome.
wonderful, wonderful author. And Anna set me on the path to figure out, what I needed to do, and I needed to do a lot. But in the end, I submitted it to Entangled Publishing,
Yeah.
and they sent me back an R and R. And at the time, I thought, oh, an R and R, that's no good. They don't want me. I didn't really think anything more of it. Um, and that is an R&R stands for revise and resubmit.
Yeah.
Sorry, revise and resubmit. And I just assumed that was something that they told everyone, R&R.
Yeah. Right.
But I one of the other things Anna had suggested was that I join the Romance Writers of Australia to find people like me, similar journey as me. And so I did that, and I went down to their Melbourne conference. This was in 2019, just before COVID hit. And when I was there, I met another author, Carly Anthony, who's a multi-published author now. And we were talking about the journey, and I explained what had happened with this story, and she goes, "No, R&R is a good thing. That means they want you to revise and resubmit. If they didn't want that, they would have just said no, thank you." Um, which got me really excited. So I went away, I did the revision, and I resubmitted, and it turned out it still wasn't what they were after. And they said, maybe do another, work a little bit more on it for us like this, uh, resubmit in another 6 months. And in the meantime, one of the other things that happened at conference is I did meet all of the wonderful people that have gone on to become my closest friends in the whole world, in my closest writing friends and actual friends. And they were all self-publishing. And I was like, oh, I saw them. I saw what they were doing all around me. And I'm like, well, I really love this story. I'd already moved on to writing book 2 in the story by now, in that world. So I decided not to do the R&R and just self-publish. And the rest is history.
Amazing, amazing. And you're on Amazon. Are they all on Kindle Unlimited or did you go wide?
Oh, I started off on Kindle Unlimited, I locked everything in. And then I did a course, one of the many courses that you can do on marketing your books. And this particular course was designed for you to sell direct through a Shopify store. And I had 2 series out by now. So I thought I'll take one series out of Amazon, publish it wide, and I could sell that direct through my store. And I've done that and I'm doing that, but I'm actually at the point of probably going to go back all in.
Oh.
I think I want to do a rewrite of that first series, bring it up to scratch to where my voice is now,
Mhm.
and then I'll probably put it back into Amazon and just leave my store for the physical books.
Yeah, amazing. And I did look at your Shopify store and it's very cool. And you've got your special editions there as well.
I do, but warning, I literally am in the process of fixing some things on my Shopify store. So I don't know what you saw. It might not have been where it's meant to be. I'm really sorry.
I will give you a deadline, and by the time this airs, it'll be amazing.
Okay, I really work well with the deadline. Deal. That is
Okay,
my kind of motivation.
there
Yeah.
we go. Good. Now maybe you should give me a deadline for my book.
Okay. Deal. Let's say Christmas. Too soon?
Yeah, okay. All right. So, how do you actually go about marketing your books? Like, do you spend a lot of money in Amazon ads, Facebook? Like, how do you work that?
I have done all those things. And you know what? I have yet to find success.
Mm,
That's the truth. I have tried. I've done courses. I've I've spent so much money, and I have yet to actually figure out a way to make ebooks work.
mhm.
And I am probably, well, it's certainly a surprise to me that at this stage of where I'm at in my career, I tend to sell more physical books than ebooks.
Right.
And yeah, it's an interesting one.
And do you think that's because you're selling them at book signings and that sort of thing?
That's part of, I mean, yeah, I'm present. I'm in people's faces. I think what really helps sell my books is the pretty covers, the special editions put me on the radar. And like when I do posts and if I do advertising about the special editions, because I can sell them direct out of my website, I find that really people respond well to it.
Yeah, and I've been interviewing a lot of people over the last few months. A lot of podcasts have already aired. And yeah, special editions have just kept on coming up as it feels like we're not really selling the book so much anymore. We're selling this piece of art that is this cover with these sprayed edges and
Yeah.
foil and
I think
gorgeousness.
I actually agree. And it's interesting, like talking to readers, some readers tell me that they'll read my book on Kindle, and then they'll get they'll get the physical one for their shelf,
Yeah,
and they won't even crack the spine. Like that book is not moving off that shelf.
that's
Um,
it.
and it's like, I mean, I'm happy if they'll support me in my author career in any way. I'm there for that, obviously. Um, and then there's other people that will be the only way they'll read it. But yeah, it's interesting
Mm,
that people would buy a book twice. I'm like,
yeah.
well, if that's the case, I'm going to make that second copy as spectacular as it can be, so they get their money's worth.
Yeah. I mean, admittedly, when Stephanie Holmes came out to Sunshine Coast Fiction Festival, I ended up buying one of her books in every single format, kind of accidentally.
I love
So
that.
I
I love
already had the audio, I already had the Kindle because I'd forgotten I'd bought it, and then I like bought every special edition too. So yeah, I have everything.
you know what it is? I think what it is for me anyway is I want to try to make these because I've got one. I had one in front of me in case we were talking about it. I wanted to make the physical experience somehow close to the internal experience because I know what I want to convey in the story. I write action romance, so there's a lot of high thrills and high stakes and high chases and all the steamy stuff going on. So I really wanted the book to be the physical book to be part of that experience as well. And the good thing about being indie is we can do that. We can totally put everything in there that we can load in. I just got I won't show it to you on the camera anyway because you probably wouldn't be able to show it, but um for Wrath, there's a scene in the first time that they make love in that book. I got my first NSFW art made, and I've had it printed onto vellum tip-in sheets,
Ah,
and I haven't launched them yet. But when I do launch them, that will be yet another physical part of the book and a physical experience. It's going to hopefully mirror what's happening for the reader. So yeah, I think we
absolutely.
can do that.
Yeah, so NSFW is not safe for work. I
Sorry,
only
yeah.
just learned that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's intriguing. So is it going to be in the inside, like on a page with text on top of it, or
Yes. So the way we've done it, and this is the first time I've ever done this, so we'll see what readers think. It's on a transparent vellum sheet that is cut to the same size in a 5 by 8 page, and my idea is that the reader will just slip it in at this. Yeah. Anyway, at that point of the book, the tip-in sheet will, if they want to put it in, they can keep it out if that's what they want, but it's designed to go on top of the page. You can see the text a little bit through it, but because of the artwork, it's not entirely transparent, but it's there.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's not like printed onto the paper with text on top. Yeah. Okay, that's really intriguing. That's got me thinking. Okay, cool.
I'm very
I
lucky actually. So Calligraphic is an Australian printer who I've done a fair bit of work with. And this is a bit of a test for them as well to see if it works. So I can't wait to actually I'll probably put some posts out about it tonight or tomorrow. So
Yeah.
story.
Oh, that'll be so cool. Can you actually get it like bound into the book or
You
does it?
can, absolutely. But I had printed this. These are a test, to tell you the truth. So I didn't want to print them, number one, if it didn't work.
Mm.
Um, but number two, because a lot of people already have Wrath in the special edition, I've got them printed so that I could send them to someone, or if you came and saw me at my table, you could pick one up and put it into your book.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible. And yeah, big snaps to Calligraphic. I got them to do Songbird for me and it was beautiful. Absolutely love that book. So,
Do you have a copy? Oh,
I do.
can you show us?
Back there. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Can't see it very well on the camera. I'll show you later.
Later, later.
Oh, no, that's gorgeous. And while we're talking about that, I did see on your website you've got some character art, which is gorgeous.
Yeah.
So tell us, I haven't really talked character art with anyone yet. Do you commission these pieces? What kind of goes into the thinking of that?
Well, for starters, this was my first. Actually, no, it wasn't my first foray. I already had character art, but I was never really thinking about it as character art at the time. I had it was the artwork I commissioned to go on the end papers of my Relics and Legends trilogy, the hardcovers. Those were my first ones, but I have to admit, I wasn't really thinking character art at the time. I was just thinking something for the internals.
Yeah.
This and the character art that I do have now, I really do have thanks to, sorry, I'm struggling to say the words here. I'm going to show you in a second. Um, but there is a company called House of Fables. I don't know if you've heard of them before. Sam from House of Fables, I met at Supernova last year. And her company, well, she does like PR boxes for books. And part of her process is that she would go and engage with the character artists for you. So that's what she did. And through one of the artists, I got Vela and Matthias.
Oh, they're so pretty.
I know. And then through another artist, I got this little artwork here.
Oh, that's gorgeous too.
Yeah.
Oh my
But
God.
I was lucky that I went through that process with Sam because now I know what I'm doing. I've been able to go directly to people. It takes time. Like some of the artists that I want to work with, their books are either completely closed or you're on a months and months long wait list. And so as long as you can kind of plan it out, um, I think you can, well, I'm finding that it's pretty awesome to be able to work with them.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's some beautiful character art coming out. Even just, yeah, postcard sort of things that you can add to it and all that sort of thing. And yeah, I've looked into it and some of them are very expensive.
Oh, they are. They are. They really are. And I think that, like, I've been paying, up at the $1,000 mark, and talking to other authors, that's not uncommon.
Yeah, yeah,
But then when I look at what I have as an asset, as a business asset, I think that is an amazing piece of art that will help my entire business. So some of the artists that I've worked with, for example, I've paid for the original art, then a commercial license, and then another license to be able to put it into print in the book as well.
mm,
Uh, But I think that that's worthwhile. And again, other artists I know have told me some of them don't necessarily make their money back on by selling the artwork in its physical form, but by putting a post up on social media, sometimes, that theory that images will talk faster than words.
yeah,
I think on social media, it's really hard because you only have a couple of seconds to grab someone's attention. And the image is often what grabs the attention versus the words. So by having your character art be that image, I think that can stop people from scrolling. And maybe when they look at your work, that's the thing that will make them go, oh, I'm kind of interested in that. So
yeah,
I think I think there is value to have them.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I definitely don't want to devalue artists' work. Like it's expensive, but they spend a lot of time in it. And
Absolutely. Oh, yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
we're not saying
Absolutely.
that.
No, and sorry, I didn't even mean that
No,
because
no.
yeah, yeah. It was even in my mind, it was like, "Oh, okay, got to build that in now to my marketing model is the cost of the artwork. If I want to do it, it's something that I have to build in not only to the production timeline, but to the costs as well."
Yes, yes, and
Yeah.
I think as uh, publishing houses that we are,
Yep.
we do think of that as yeah, another form of marketing, another asset that we've got. And yeah, I mean, in this 2025, 2026 era of AI generative everything, and then, getting people to actually continue to do art, we are in a really interesting time period. And so artists that I've seen, I saw Ashley Nobe's art was at Sunshine Coast Fiction Festival, and her work was amazing and
This is
expensive.
Ashley as well.
Beautiful. What was that?
That's Ashley.
That's Ashley. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, there you go. Yeah, she
Sorry,
wasn't
not that one. No,
available for
not that
months.
one. Sorry, no, I lied. I had the wrong book up. That was Ashley's work.
Oh, that is
Yeah,
brilliant.
sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry,
no.
Ashley.
She'd be like, that's not me. Yeah, I was ready to commission her right there. And then she's like, 6 months time. And I'm like, okay.
He's
So,
amazing. But you know what? Like, Ashley did the NSFW art,
yeah.
and it was amazing. It was such a wonder to see what idea I had in my mind. Because you know how when you write something, you see it, right? We see that picture. Well, I'm assuming. That's sorry, I
Yeah,
might be
I do.
assuming. Um, Although I think there is a condition where some people don't see things, right? They don't see the thought.
Mm.
I don't know the name of it off the top of my head. But anyway, having Ashley pull that to life just from reading the scene blew my mind. Yeah.
That's so
Very cool.
amazing. And I think it's so important for us all to work together and, collaborate. I'm all about collaborating.
Uh,
And so to be able to work with these other visual artists, and we're artists with words, and they go together so well. And
no,
when we
right?
can harness it like that, beautiful things are created. So I love that so much. So are you on social media a lot? Are you having to like post every day and that sort of thing?
I don't necessarily post every day, but yes, I'm on social media a lot. And you know what? I just did a course on this for the Queensland Writers Centre for their printable program for some new and aspiring authors. And I was part of my presentation was to talk about why I thought they should have a presence on social media. And the truth is, if you want to reach an audience for whatever reason, whether you're wanting to sell your books because you want to make money, whether you've just got a story to tell and you want people to hear you, whatever it is, social media lets us connect with people in a way that we just could not connect in any other shape or form. So for me, the connection element of social media makes it one of the most amazing opportunities for a creative ever. It has its downsides, of course, but I see it as a really awesome thing.
Yeah, awesome. What are you on, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
I really, I really probably love Instagram. I feel like I've got I don't know why Instagram, I just found my feed on really well. TikTok, I never felt like I found that saying, like you find your feet?
Yeah, yeah.
Even though I spend a lot of time on TikTok and I have a lot of fun there, I don't know that my messaging has always been as good as it should be because I get on there and I have all these ideas and I just end up doing stupid things, you know? I end up doing karaoke with wind machines and this is not my book. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. I am literally about to hire someone to take over social media for me, so I can't wait to not have to be doing TikToks all the time. So
How are you going about finding someone to take over? Because I have to admit, I see the sense in that. I do see
yeah.
this.
Well, I am, because my business is growing, I'm actually hiring a business manager. So
Ooh.
she has a team who will take that over. So
Ah.
stay tuned. One of the many things coming in 2026 at Serenade Publishing. So
That's brilliant. I would love to hear more about how that goes, like who, like if you it can never tell us who it is, but also how did you go about picking someone? Like what was that process like?
yes, well, that will be an entire podcast episode
Mm,
when I get her
okay.
on.
We're tuning in, trust me.
I will. We'll chat later. Great. Well, I'm going to wrap it up in a minute, but I would love to know if you have any particular advice to writers that are maybe just kind of feeling like it's so, I can just imagine a listener who has a story and they're like, what, now I've got to get on social media and I've got to make special editions and audio and blah, 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 blah. Any advice?
Yeah, I guess. I don't think you have to do it all at once. I would take the time. If current me was talking to prior me, I think I would take a little bit more time and think about what do I actually want? What am I trying to achieve? And then focus on one thing at a time. I don't know about you. I have a terrible habit of trying to do all the things all the time. And I know that because I'm doing this for a living, the hustle is real, right? Yeah, I'm sure you get it, right? It's an everyday hustle. Um, but sometimes it would be nice just to focus in on one thing, find my feet, and then move to the next. If I had that luxury, because I'm trying to do this for a living, I don't feel like I have that luxury. I feel like I need to move quickly. Sometimes I think when you move quickly, you can make mistakes, and I've made plenty of mistakes along the way. And so it would be nice to have the time not to make those mistakes.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being on the show today, HM Hodgson.
All
We
right.
wish you all the best with your upcoming book, and I'm excited to read number 3 when it comes out.
Yes, oh my, I've got to go write it now. That's
Oh,
what I might do on TikTok. I was thinking very quickly.
yeah.
Have you ever done this? Have you written Like, I've never talked about my book as I'm writing it on TikTok, but I'm thinking about doing that as a strategy. So we shall see, you know.
We will stay tuned. Now we all have to check you out and see, make sure we keep you accountable for it.
Yeah, that's good.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me, Sarah. All right.
Wasn't that an amazing chat? H.M. Hodgson is such a generous and grounded voice in the world of indie fantasy romance. If you loved hearing about her Witch Wars series, be sure to grab a copy and follow her online to see all the magic she's creating. And if today's episode lit a fire under you to finally get serious about writing and selling your book, don't forget to visit serenadepublishing.com. You'll find loads of free and paid resources, including my brainstorming fun sheet and the Self Paced Fiction Writing Academy. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Until next time, keep writing, keep believing, and I'll see you soon on the Right Podcast.